I was looking at the data. I have it here. Wayne County, 113,000 ballots were returned, 32% return rate in early voting. Again, high black population, maybe, just maybe, trying to read between the lines, a good sign for Harris, whereas the overall voting trends have been advantage Trump in recent weeks. All right, let's get back now to the Harris economic pitch, which is to black men today in Detroit. We're talking about the women a moment ago in the early voting, but black men has been a group she's been trying to message towards. And Ron Busby joins us. Ron's the president and CEO of the U.S. Black Chambers, which is an organization that advocates on behalf of black business owners. In fact, he introduced the vice president at an economic opportunity event in Detroit. That was back in May, I believe. So she's back there today, right, Ron? And we appreciate you coming on with this story, you know, whether it was President Obama's comments last week, and since then, more and more stories come out. Seems to be a bigger issue in this campaign. Does the vice president still have work to do, not only with black voters, but in particular with black men? What do you say? Oh, looks like there we go. We had a little bit of an issue with your shot. I think it was freezing up a little bit, so there might be. I'm going to let you give it a second for, you know, the way these things work. I love technology to reset. I think you're okay now. Yes. Okay. So take it from the top there on black voters, particularly black men for Harris.
Yeah. Thank you for having us. Sure. You know, black men aren't a monolithic people either. But the one thing that we have heard is that the vice president has heard us. So often we've had elected officials as well as campaigners talk to us about issues that don't make themselves relevant in our community. And so what we have seen today, this morning, is that the vice president has heard the concerns of many black men across the country. I believe she has laid out an agenda that addresses many of those issues to be able to create wealth, give us sustainability in our communities, and allow black men to once again lead in their communities as well as their families. As well as opportunities going further to make sure that we have the good health that we need, we have good education, we have good opportunities to create the wealth that our communities and families need so desperately.
Yeah, some of these interviews that she's done have been targeted towards the black community. I think the one with Charlemagne the God out in Detroit today, that's got to be a big part of that. Now, you mentioned her plans. She's rolled out, you know, the small business loans and the like. We talked about that on yesterday's show. I want to show you an article from the New York Times that talks not only about the black community and not only about men, but the Hispanic community as well, with the headline asking the question, why is Trump gaining with black and Hispanic voters? And they talk about how these voters seem to sympathize with his America First foreign policy, saying that America ought to pay less attention to problems overseas and concentrate more on problems at home. And the thesis is that's helping Trump. What do you say?
Well, I agree with some of the voters that are concerned about what's happening across the globe, as well as concerns about making sure that their voices and concerns are being addressed. But I think you cannot have a single agenda. There's multiple things going on around the world. And I think the president of the United States needs to make sure that they're involved in all issues concerning not just the citizens of the United States, but the citizens of the globe. And the one thing that I understand with this administration through the Biden-Harris administration is that they're making sure that all people, both minority and majority, both black and white, both foreign and domestic, are having concerns that are being addressed and making sure that we have the opportunity to live safely around the country, around the globe. And I, as well, appreciate what she's doing for both black communities as well as communities around the country.
Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.